What up, Internet? I'm Young Guru, and welcome back to How the F Fridays. Last week, I answered how the F do I record my games using NVIDIA Shadowplay. This week, I'm answering how the F do I record my games using XSplit. Okay, so let's say you don't have an NVIDIA card, or you do have an NVIDIA card, but you're playing a windowed game instead of full screen, and you can't use Shadowplay. An alternative on Windows is XSplit. Uh, there's a link down in the description to where you can find XSplit. You can get a free version. It comes with a watermark, I believe, and you can't actually record videos that are that long, but at least lets you kind of sample to see if your system is capable of running this software. So I'd recommend doing that before you actually shell out a little bit of money for a license. A few things you can do with XSplit. You can broadcast to Twitch, and you can do a local recording. A few things you're going to want to do before you start up. You have your resolutions. Mine is running at 1080p. You can edit those and select. It's just got a whole list of resolutions. Basically, you want resolutions that match what your output is. So if you're running at 720p, you want to select that. If you're running 1600 by 900, choose that. If you have a really good system and you're running at 4K, 4096 by 4096, that's a square, so I'm not exactly sure what type of monitor would run at that resolution, but that's a very high resolution. Or if you're lower, 1024 by 1024, just check these and it'll be on the list on your view for resolutions. Again, frame rates, you can do the same thing, 15, 20, 24, 25, 29, 97, 30. I'm running at 60. I don't use transitions. This is basically if you want to pop in and out of different games. And so we'll skip the rest of these other than the scale viewport. If you run it, I'm running at 20%. Let's bump it up to 50%. It might not be obvious, but this screen size is 50% height and width of my own screen. You can kind of see it there. It's using about a quarter of the screen. And if you use 100%, then it takes up the entire screen. So I like to keep it down to 20%. This way I can see what's happening, but it's kind of off to the side, not bothering me too much. A few options to use this. Say you're recording. I use this to record my Auditorium Let's Plays. That game is basically a Flash package containing the game. And so the NVIDIA Shadowplay doesn't work on that. So I use this. And the way I do this, you go to File, Add Screen Region, top left corner, bottom right corner. Grabs the whole screen. Then XSplit defaults to only displaying this on a quarter of its screen real estate. To fix this, you want to grab the corner of that video and stretch it out. This will use up the whole screen. Say you have a camera videotaping yourself, and maybe you want to only use part of the screen for your video. You can do that just by, you can shift where it is on the screen. Kind of up to it's your preference. But like I said, I prefer to have it running full screen. capturing everything. And then, so this is your screen source. It's checked, 1920 by 1080. I like to turn my microphone off. Again, use my Microsoft Windows default sound recorder screen. Then if you're not broadcasting to Twitch but you want to record locally, you click on local recording. It starts recording your entire screen. This message tells you you've started. Get rid of that. I go over to my sound recorder, start my commentary recording. I load up Steam, find Auditorium, hit play. And because I'm grabbing my entire screen, we're seeing this whole image is being recorded. And right now, kind of to demonstrate, I'm hitting Alt F9. My shadow play should be coming up, but nothing is popping up in the top corner, indicating that it can't record it. And from here, you do the same that we were doing earlier. You have your commentary. Maybe you want to sync up the two. So you would do clicking Solace, 3, 2, 1, click. Click Atlantic, 3, 2, 1, click. Now you've linked your commentary with your actual gameplay footage, and then you just record your video. Quit that. Once you're done recording, you've quit out of your game. You go back into broadcast, you click on local recording, it stops it. You stop your commentary. Again, we go over to recordings. I'm going to put this in Auditorium, test commentary. Now when you open up your system, the recordings from XSplit go into an XSplit folder. I've assigned it to output to my external hard drive, the recordings folder, but it creates XSplit as opposed to the shadow play, which will create a folder for each game you're playing. You go into local recording, and it's purely based on the date. It's 2014, 3/19, 11/29. No, 21/29 is that's 9/29. That's from earlier today. 2014, March 20th, 00. That's midnight. 12 minutes in, 8 seconds, 647. Thousandths of a second. Let's just open this up. You can see one thing going on here. In this right corner of the screen is where XSplit is operating, but it can pull itself out of the recording so that it's not showing up. But we play this. Let's fast forward a bit to a relevant part. And of course, you didn't actually record it. Oh, we're not playing. There we go. So we've started our recording. You can kind of see that. Click right now. Commentary started. And when you move it to your video editor, you'll crop out all this kind of setup area. But as you can see, it's a full screen recording of Auditorium, a game that we can't record with NVIDIA. We'll close that out. We'll relabel this Auditorium test and get rid of that. Another use for XSplit is when you want to record a game that's not in full screen. So previously, we grabbed our entire desktop screen. You could do that with a window game. Let me open one up. This is One Finger Death Punch, an indie game, a ton of fun. So there's a few ways you could do this. One is kind of like I guess I would call it a cheap hack. You can do a screen region. And you can try to cover that part of the screen. I would not recommend doing it that way. Once you have it up, you can click on Add down here. This is also available up in the File menu. But you want to add, and you want to add a game. And you'll see that XSplit can recognize that a game is running. It sees One Finger Death Punch. You can click it, it puts it right here. Again, you can place it kind of across your screen wherever you need it. And again, you can boost it up to cover the whole screen. And then from there, you do what we did before. Create a local recording. Close down that notification that it actually started recording. And you can see you can move this around. It doesn't affect how XSplit is recording it. You start your commentary recording, and you start playing. Whoop. And as you can see, XSplit is kind of replaying what's happening on the screen. I think this would be more useful if you had a dual screen setup. If you just have a desktop and this, you don't necessarily need this. In fact, on the View menu, you can hide the viewport and it'll clear that out so you can't see it. Showing the viewport has the potential to use up some of your system resources, and depending on what you're playing, it could really slow down your system. This is a fairly light game, so we can see that it's not much delay, not much slowdown in the actual game. Everything appears to be working just fine. And like I said, if you haven't checked out this game, it's awesome. All you do is right and left click, but you're a ninja. And as Cliffy B once said, everybody wants to be a ninja. So then, once you're done playing, you've done your recording. Again, same as you would on any other thing. Sync up your commentary with the video. Stop that recording. And we'll call this One Finger Death Punch, Deed Punch, Death Punch, commentary. You go over to your broadcast, stop the local recording, open up our file system, look at our recordings, XSplit, local. As you can see, there it is, full screen. If the game is not running at 1080, it'll do a little stretching. If your game is running significantly less than what you're stretching your screen to, it won't look good. If you're at 720p and try to scale it up to 1080p, that's not too bad. If you're at 240p to 1080p, it's going to be a little rough. And that's how the F you record using XSplit. Next week I'll show you how to record with the Hopog HD PVR 2. Thank you for joining me. I'm Young Guru, and I will see you next time.